All on your ends of the genuine ones with no misintentions.
No, if the chair don't be goddamn it, my content of mine, that's okay.
It is. My content is not for everyone. I say it respectfully. You could find entertainment somewhere else, and I say that respectfully. Sending the evil lie with your lack of self-control when it came to your discipline. You said I didn't have ribbon when it come to be authentic, but you saw potential within me, became your issue. Only by hold on 1 second, we didn't act the same when it come to unconditional love. I chose myself to value myself regardless of my tax bracket. It became your mental health crisis. The end of the day, to try to shortchange me of a vision that you can relate to was going within and believe in faith that hold on 1 second, we not the same. Operating out of life that you couldn't relate to, that was God's flow. We don't praise anybody, half hated my vein. I just know how to respect my neighbor when you couldn't see.
No, if the chair don't be.
A motherfucker will project the evil lie towards you when the devil was truly a lie.
No, if the chair don't be, goddamn it.
I was just minding my business. It's crazy how a motherfucker will bother you, and as soon as you speak up for yourself, you're wrong.
And they gotta send you the evil lie. It's the train don't be let on the hate train.
They watching within watch, you got the notifications on. But you so disturbing a peace, but you truly actually bring the peace at the end of the day. All because you know how to be yourself when you actually know how to go within the find peace. They want to see at the end of the day, did you get discouraged another day? Did this spell work actually work? Are you mentally unstable? It'd be the train of thought for me. They would be in the background trying to shadow ban you, blackmail you against you, all because you truly got pretend you and you was never the issue. They even look at you like competition. Elevation hits different. Fall from thirst to end day. I don't worship the devil. I ain't understand your opinion, but I still don't respect my neighbor to stay in my lane at the end of the day. I ain't had to dibble and dabble with sport work. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. I wasn't trying to lose the opportunity to lose myself because you was projecting pain. Hold on 1 second, that hate train.
No, if the train don't be,
My content is not everybody. It's no need to send an evil lie, neighbor.
No, if the train don't for me, the devil's a goddamn lie.
You made yourself so uncomfortable going to that witch, that warlock. Thought you was communicating to go with, then hold on 1 second, it became your norm to do folks wrong. You wanted them to shortchange yourself when it comes to their mental health, only to project the mental case on at the end of the day because you had lack of self-control.
If the train don't be, I don't know what's wrong with people.
How this type of stuff actually happens when you actually find an opinion to go within and choose yourself. To find balance, understand it. Hold on 1 second. I am my biggest cheerleader, regardless who's rooting me on. It's a train of thought for me. Always be yourself when folks not rooting you on. Always be yourself when folks don't put respect in your name. Always be yourself, especially when you don't have malicious intentions. My content is not for everyone. It's not. If something is not entertaining to you or you're not invested into somebody or you don't like somebody, there's no need to show up and send an evil lie to somebody. It'd be the train of thought for me. When God truly allows someone to truly luck up, you know that blessing wasn't a curse. You would never understand that someone wasn't trying to get discouraged because your lack of self-confidence when it comes to self-esteem issues. Hold on 1 second, didn't matter your tax bracket, let alone your age that day. It'd be the train of thought from your one-sided opinion, creating a hate train. You didn't want someone to maintain a smile, so you had to throw spoken in a toxic way. Hold on 1 second, we was never in competition.
No, if the train don't be, I don't know what's wrong with these fucking people.
I'm gonna bring it down a notch though. Hold on 1 second. Because God fixed my crown, I ain't have to crash out. Elevation hits different on everybody when it comes to certain folks' opinion. Healing trauma and pain wasn't a mind game. Because hold on 1 second, you wouldn't be able to fulfill my shoes when it comes to maturing. Actually, realize that hold on 1 second, I just was trying to find growth when it comes to my mental health.
That God was not trying to shortchange me from.
Because practice makes perfect. Becoming your best self vision of yourself. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. It's not a race at the end of the day. Everybody doesn't heal the same, but I still knew how to respect my neighbor and I ain't have to pretend to be authentic. So that bothered your mental health. So you try to shortchange me my faith, all because I wasn't doing it for likes and views of cloud chasing or fame. You try to ruin my reputation, but hold on 1 second, God allowed me to see. I love me, not to dim my light. I love me, not to dim my light.
No, the train don't be, my content, everybody, that's okay.
Always be yourself with no misintentions. I'm doing poetry out loud, my style. My content is not for everybody. There's no need to watch me within watching me and sending the evil lie, try to project the hate crime towards me, or send spell work towards me, or have malicious intentions towards me at the end of the day. I didn't sign up for your one-sided opinion, and I say that respectfully. Your lack of self-control when it came to your discipline and staying in your lane. I do not live in fear, and I would never hurt myself. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Today is currently August 20th, 2025. It was anonymous call. It was anonymous call. He like, yo, Naya, can you take a favor? I said, a favor for a favor. That was God's favor. If you a favor of God at the end of the day, yeah, I hear my neighbor. The energy is different. What's up? What you got going on? They would never understand me. I said, what you got going on? They like, hold on 1 second. I wasn't seeking revenge, but what happened? You saying that your name is anonymous. What's going on? All I hear is somebody crying in the background. Nobody hears them when it comes to self-love. Hold on 1 second. What happened to your confidence? Someone said they never had it within them. Only was to hold on 1 second. Your beauty started within. They said I didn't know how to show up for myself. I heard you can help me when it come to healing. You know, God was on the line that day. Only to find out at the end of the day, someone was throwing spark at that baby most toxic way. Trying to discourage them when it comes to their features. Or because someone had potentials to become their best self-vision of themselves. They didn't want to see somebody truly elevate. Understanding that, hold on 1 second, our walk of life ain't the same. But someone always had confidence, only because they almost lost themselves when it came to a chapter. Because someone's tax bracket, they didn't want someone to outdo them when it come to competition. But it was one side of what happened that day. Misery loves company. Misery loves company. I wasn't trying to disturb my peace. Misery loves company. I wasn't trying to disturb my peace. Misery loves company. I wasn't trying to disturb my peace. Yo, God, could God, did you hear me, God? How can I help this child of God? This child of God ain't trying to hurt me with malicious intentions. They not trying to seek revenge. They just want to heal, to go within and remove the marks or scars or whatever's going on within. To understand their vision, to look in the mirror another day, to understand their intuition. They been told at the end of the day that someone's in the background trying to shortchange their mental health, that nobody's going to ever believe them. How do we help this situation? You know, because when you a child of God, an angel is real. Only was a hold on 1 second, someone should know how to complete that sentence, and it was far from mentally ill. An angel is different. An angel is real. You know, angels are real. Hold on 1 second. I gotta be careful what I say at the end of the day because, you know, people pick and choose who could talk about God, the devil, you know, the spirituality or whatever the case may be. But this phone call actually hits different. Because God said, I got your back. Don't worry about the outside world. You can hold this conversation down because I gave you all the proper tools and you never had hate in your vein at the end of the day. It was never competition when it came to you helping your neighbor. Regardless of what you was going through mentally at the end of the day, when you had food in your stomach, they would never understand gravity when you caught your blessing to understand that receiver that day. Because God was never for clout chasing likes and views. And energy is different. Because God was never for sale. The energy is different. Someone prayed to go within. And he was being pointed in the right direction. And God wasn't pretending. Only to realize to hold on 1 second. The next child of God was able to heal that baby. Only to realize to hold on 1 second. Someone tried to outdo the next person. Or because of the fact that someone had jealousy and envy. The gang stalking was real. The anonymous call said, hold on 1 second. They said I was mentally unstable. But I was truly keeping it real. The gang stalking was real. They had your devices. Right to left, try to dim you like the project mindset of hold on 1 second, not to see your self-reflection. They didn't want you to see God's light. They said God wasn't real, but you was far from mentally ill. So they had to make you ugly, but God was never ugly at the end of the day. They would never understand how you elevate the overcomer storm that you about to go within. You know, because when you walk through that tunnel, understanding it's actually a light. When God is truly guiding you, they would never understand direction when it comes to God's orders, when God is treating you right. You know, beauty starts within. Start to encourage your neighbor at the end of the day. You may not understand what I'm saying to you, but never lose yourself, and I say that respectfully. Far from pretending because you was always beautiful within. Having a beautiful heart, you never switched up, regardless of what you was going through, right to left, didn't matter what folks' tax bracket, when they try to shortchange you, your mental health, you didn't lose yourself. Who would have known you'd be standing by me today? Understand, hold on 1 second, we both got confidence. You know, and it's just different. Someone almost lost themselves in a chapter. Love and pain. Started dwelling on them. Only to realize, hold on 1 second, time can actually heal open wounds when they least expect it. Maintain a smile, not to get lost because someone wanted to kick them down and see them frown. Overcoming that obstacle, that energy has different. Trauma and pain. Wow. When was the last time you looked in the mirror to see that you're beautiful? You had scars beyond scars, the bumps, the pimples, you put a name in your book. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same because everybody have to deal with magic. Someone projected on them at the end of the day. But you knew where it came from because you never had skin problems. The devil was hiding their hands, let on the enemy when they had to tell lies when it came to hold on 1 second. They tried to stop God's flow, but God never stopped moving. When it came to your life, when it comes to hold on 1 second, your steps is always ordered. They would never understand unconditional love started within. Never give up on yourself. God is real. You know, when God heals you, they will never understand how God fixed your crown. And God sent the right people into your life to show you why you love yourself. That you got the right people by your side and you're not alone. You mad and you're worthy. The beauty starts within. You look on the outside, they would never understand. It was never competition. The hate train was real, but looking in the mirror, you are beautiful, you are handsome, you mad and you're worthy. They gave up on you, overlooked you, they didn't know how to protect you, respect you. But who would have known that you didn't lose yourself in another chapter? Or because you're willing to choose you. I may not make sense to the average person, but never allow someone's projection bring you insecurities to lose yourself, and I say that respectfully. You know, it's disgusting to see how folks will project spell work on you and then hide their hands, they can't even face you. They will watch your every move like a bad habit. Only to realize to hold on 1 second. God had a better plan when you least expect it, pointing in the right direction. You got folks projecting a hate crime towards you. They making sure that nobody hears you. But you was never in competition with these people. They saw your features actually being beautiful. You had a personality that was out of the world. You actually knew how to hurt. You actually knew how to heal someone's heart that day. You actually knew how to show up for somebody in the most healthiest way. You actually knew how to respect your neighbor without pretending. You actually knew how to show up for folks when you couldn't even see. You actually knew how to show up for somebody when they couldn't relate to their own love language, losing themselves. Only the rest to hold on 1 second. Don't lose yourself because you can find yourself. Don't lose yourself because you can find yourself. I may not make sense to the average person. And that's okay. Because I'm not here for you. I'm here for the genuine ones with no intentions, and I say that respectfully. It's never when God sends the right people into your life, it's never I'll do you better than you. Because it was never a competition. The enemy made you feel like that was supposed to be the option. The devil created that lame at the end of the day to shortchange your neighbor of their faith, to shortchange your neighbor of their mental health. My content is not for everyone. And one thing I don't do is run from my past. And I say that respectfully. You got me shadow banned, you hacking my devices, trying to blackmail me against me to get a reaction out of me. I do not live in fear. Any negative energy return back to sender, and I say that respectfully. You're right, nobody's going to believe me. But that's okay because God sees me. And God sees what you're doing. How folks with hacking devices gang stalk you, tell you every move. Send sport towards your life at the end of the day to paint you out to be the villain in their story. Or because they want to cause chaos and confusion in your life. They try to rob you mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Project a hate crime towards you, leaving, let alone energy harvest off your energy. I call my energy back. When God saw what you was doing, I was truly whack. You said that you were original or authentic at the end of the day, but you can't even keep up with your own motion when it comes to walking in your own shoes at the end of the day to actually understand that you ain't got a soul. Because if you was actually real at the end of the day, you would walk with a heart. It'd be the train of thought for me. Not to discourage your neighbor, just stay in your lane when they're not for you. It'd be the train of thought for me. How you got to create a hate train, trying to discourage the next person, all because they know how to hold their own weight. And I don't mean narcotics. It'd be the train of thought for me. Always be yourself, and no since I'm nice and respected, I'm far from a hater. Loving yourself is not a crime, and I say that respectfully.
No, the jet on me, goddammit. My cousin of mine, that's okay. In the same purpose only, it says currently August 20, 2005. Always be yourself with no molestation. No, the jet on me, goddammit. You ever been minding your business when you big single and shit or whatever the case may be? And you come to the mindset at the end of the day, you ever been crushed on somebody and shit, and only realize they really stressed the fuck out? No, it's the trait on me. You know, when you one of those type of people that got a personality, you know, regardless of your looks and shit, but you know, at the end of the day, like, someone got the eye for you. And they stressing themselves out, like, hold on 1 second. If they with somebody, you ever had one of those friends that ask you 101 times in different vocabularies? You think they with somebody? You think they with somebody? And that motherfucker go home at the end of the day. I want to approach him, but I don't know how to approach him. I want to say something to my new babe, but I don't know how to. I want to be on the same page. You ever realize in the day you only take yourself out your own fucking mental health? Only realize, hold on 1 second, this person's single this whole tight time. Oh, somebody's waiting for you to. No, that's really changed on me. You be stressed out so goddamn much in the end of the day trying to figure out, hold on 1 second, how I'm going to approach this person. Matter of fact, it ain't even relate because, you know, when you observe somebody at the end of the day, you like, you know what, someone too good to be true at the end of the day. Damn, but I can't keep my eyes off you. And I know you in a situation within a situation, you know, because, hold on 1 second, who would want to maintain that conversation with you? That was straight over me. Only the rest of the end of the day, you only shortchanging yourself out of a blessing. No, for real, because only realize you about to learn a lesson. No, have to change on me. Imagine walking up to somebody that you've been crushing on for the longest at the end of the day, and they come to find out, hold on 1 second, they've been single this whole entire time, and they just been waiting for you. If it changed on me, only be yourself when I'm a lesson, say something you like, neighbor, I'm far from my head on. Always be yourself. I may not be funny to you, or you. And that's cool. I may not be entertaining to you. I may not make sense to you. That's fine. But I don't gotta sit here and project spoken towards you. And I say that respectfully. You know, I don't live in fear, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. You know, gang stalking is real. And I call my energy back, any negative energy that's being sent towards me, and I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. It's disgusting to see how folks would hack your devices, send you the evil lie, or do things behind the scenes because they work in certain departments or they got certain money, they got certain, they had a certain tax bracket and they're able to manipulate the behind the scenes stuff or whatever the case may be to try to blackmail you against you because they say nobody's going to believe you. Never allow someone to project fear in you, and I say that respectfully, regardless of what subject it is. My content is not for everyone. It's not. Never allow someone to make you feel like you're wrong for choosing you when you never have malicious intentions. You know what growth comes change, elevation hits different. You know what growth comes change, elevation hits different. Don't tell me you're like neighbor, I'm far from a hater. Here's a chin thought for me, neighbor. No, for real. You know, gang stalking is really real. And people really want a reaction out of you so bad. They want a reaction out of you so bad. How they dim your light. And they want you to say something so bad. They want you to curse them out, be a crash on all that. My content is not for everybody. And I don't live in fear, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding, regardless to who believes me or not. I would never hurt myself. I would never hurt myself. I love myself. Yeah, I walk these streets alone, but I would never hurt myself. Always be yourself with no much, and I say that respectfully. Don't tip your light, don't get discouraged, neighbor. I'm far from my head, don't tip your light, neighbor. Giving up now wasn't part of the process, don't get shortchanged. Don't get shortchanged, because your neighbor next door at the end of the different tax bracket telling you every move. Trying to paint you out to be the villain in their story. They taking notes at the end of the day to tell you your schedule. Only was, hold on 1 second, they said that you're mentally unstable. But someone that's gang stalking you at the end of the day, telling your next move from your right to your left when you're taking this shit, it tells a lot about their character traits. And I say that respectfully, when you never had to pretend to be authentic. Never was a hater. Hold on 1 second, neighbor. We not the same. It's disgusting to see how someone would gang stalk you, or folks will pay people to gang stalk you. And that became the norm, but they said that you're mentally unstable. No, if the trait on me, something is mentally wrong with you. Hello? How this type of stuff actually happens. It doesn't matter what community that you're truly in at the end of the day, and I say that respectfully. How folks would gang stalk you. How folks in different tax brackets would pay this person, pay that person to project a hate crime towards you. Or somebody would send somebody in and someone will come towards you and you don't have to know them or not. You don't have to entertain them or not. But they'll be plotting a hate crime towards you to rob you mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Even energy harvest off your energy. How this type of stuff actually happens. I do not live in fear and I would never hurt myself. These folks pick and choose who could talk about God, who could speak about spirituality, who could speak about gang stalking, who could speak about violence,
Who could speak about narcotics? It's a thought for me, let alone justice. My content is not for everyone. I do not live in fear. One thing I don't do is run from he say, she say, and I don't run from my past. Regardless if someone lied on me, and at the end of the day, I know how to take accountability for my actions. Something that you ain't used to, let alone relatable to.
No, the drink with me. My content not for everybody.
It's not. It really isn't. So you can see the difference between the video quality, how I just had so much light, and now I don't. You know, when it comes to gang stalking, when they hack your devices, when you don't have storage, it's because they're gang stalking you. They're hacking your devices. When you go on certain platforms, whatever the case may be, your light was perfectly fine, and especially when you got really good lighting at that. And then the background starts to get dim. And then as soon as you remove yourself out of the app, you're perfectly fine because now your light goes back to normal. How this type of stuff happens when it comes to gang stalking and people hacking your devices. I don't wish gang stalking on nobody, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. I never signed up for someone's one-sided contract, regardless who's in the background trying to blackmail me against me, and I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Anybody sending any negative energy towards me, return back to something, I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. You know, it's disgusting to see how, regardless if it's a man or a woman, how they would see you walking these streets alone, and they said nobody's going to protect you or show up for you, whatever the case may be. So they will plot against you to have you robbed mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and watch your every move because they say nobody's going to show up for this individual. Nobody's going to actually understand that this person even has a voice. Oh, we could cover it up. How this type of stuff actually happens. Because someone's a single person. Doesn't matter if they're a single person or not. No. It's a lot of innocent people that lose their life every single day because of the hands of someone with lack of self-control when it comes to discipline. Because someone has malicious intentions. And they're able to cover it up because of the fact that they have certain people that work in certain companies, or they have certain skills, or whatever the case may be, and they're able to erase certain things, and they're able to remove certain things, and they say, you know what, because I'll live and work in this community, I'm able to blackmail this person. Like, hold on one second, there's no evidence. How this type of stuff actually happens. I don't scream I'm a victim every single day, but I'm bringing awareness because you're not alone. And I say that respectfully, and I would never hurt myself, and I don't live in fear. I had spellwork being projected on me. Multiple occasions. And when certain individuals feel like, hold on, it's not working good enough, it's not working properly how I want it to work at the end of the day, they will keep coming back, until you start to deteriorate. I'm not an addict, I'm not a prostitute, and I say that respectfully. I walk these streets alone, I do not live in fear. You said nobody's going to hear my voice. You threatened me. I do not live in fear. I love me, Naya G on Love is Spy, faithfully. Never allow someone to project fear in you regardless of what environment you're in. And I say that respectfully. Regardless if it's a platonic relationship or not. If that relationship is not for you, you are worthy of choosing you. And you are worthy of speaking up for yourself. Sometimes you get in situations that you didn't sign up for and go into the wrong person only for them to cover up a situation, only for someone to do you wrong more. How this type of stuff actually happens when you're asking for help. Imagine asking for help from somebody only for them to blackmail you against you, or to make your voice not heard, make it a mute. Because it doesn't matter someone's tax bracket or what subject that they work in of their job description at the end of the day. How this type of stuff actually happens. When you speak up for yourself, certain individuals are able to cover up certain situations because regardless how long they knew somebody, or they was in a relationship with somebody, or their family or not, or whatever the case may be. When certain people have bonds with each other at the end of the day, they're willing to cover up certain situations. Or because of someone's tax bracket and they trying to ruin somebody at the end of the day, they're going to make sure that you're not even in existence. How this type of stuff actually happens when it comes to gang stalking. When it comes to violence, when it comes to hate crime. My content is not for everybody, and I do not live in fear, and I would never hurt myself. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. I don't send spellwork towards people. I don't put bugs under people's doors. I don't put spellwork in front of people's doors. I don't energy harvest all people's energy. I don't destiny swipe with people. I don't project spell work towards people, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding. I think I got to stress that more. Because an individual will try to blackmail you against you, or because someone just came into a conversation, they don't know you, and they will paint you out to be somebody that you're truly not, because they're able to control the narrative, because they have multiple people to be able to say, you know what, this person is like this person is like that, until it's their household and they realize, hold on 1 second, that was not right. A mother just lost her child, and someone tried to cover it up. That's how real it is. How a mother just lost her child, and someone tried to cover it up. A father just lost his child, and someone tried to cover it up. A loved one just lost a family member, and someone tried to cover it up. Did it matter what subject it was? No, it did not. It shouldn't have to wait until it's your household for you to scream justice in a community. It doesn't matter what environment or community you're in at the end of the day. When someone loses their life, or a mother or father or loved one loses someone that they care and love about, care and love, it's never for likes and views or cloud chasing. It's not. Somebody's life just changed forever when it comes to someone's household now. Someone's wearing a mask, trying to hold their way at the end of the day when it comes to being a stand-up man or woman. And I'm not talking about narcotics. My content is not for everyone. No mother or father or loved one should lose a child or a loved one because someone lacks self-control when it comes to discipline. Someone's out here projecting a hate crime or hate group towards somebody. Or someone's out here energy harvesting or someone's energy. Someone's out here projecting sport towards an innocent person. Or because someone is truly gifted, or someone's more spiritually gifted than someone at the end of the day, or someone is just talented, gifted, beautiful, whatever the case may be. A mother and father created a gift. Regardless if they're in a relationship or not, at the end of the day, they brought that baby into this world to make sure that baby go from point A to Z. Not everybody's a mother or a father, and I say that respectfully, because a mother and father, they show up for their child. Good day, bad day, and misunderstanding day. They would not want someone sending a child the evil eye or sending a child spell work. Regardless of what environment their child is in, and regardless if they're in a different environment, a different culture of people at the end of the day. They should know at the end of the day when they go to bed at night that that child is safe. They shouldn't have to worry about, hold on 1 second, my child is having a mental crisis now because of the fact that someone's projection. How this type of stuff actually happens. When a child should be able to be free and remove themselves from that nest at the end of the day, and I don't mean no disrespect, to actually explore, to live on their own if they want to live on their own. It'd be a train of thought for me. Everybody's situation is not the same. Because you have family members at the end of the day that don't mind bringing that child into their household. But everybody's walk of life is not the same. But there's still stand-up parents at the end of the day that still want to make sure at the end of the day that child's off to college, that their child is safe. Or regardless if they're in college or not, their child is safe, their baby is safe. It should be no reason why someone created a hate train towards their child and their child's up at school and the mother and father is about 6, 10, 20 hours away, whatever the case may be, and they can't get to their baby in time. Or because someone lacks self-control when it comes to discipline. It didn't matter if someone had a mother and father in a household at the end of the day. How jealousy and envy and hate is real. You brought a baby into this world that's beautiful. You brought a baby into this world that was gifted. You brought a baby into this world at the end of the day that's different. And they didn't hurt nobody. They had malicious intentions. But someone was plotting against your child to rob them mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. To project a hate train towards them. To energy harvest off their energy. Even to try to project spell work on your child. Beauty magic. Financial. Spell work. Confusion spells. Imagine your child in school and they a straight A student. And you trying to figure out what happened to your baby. They can't stay focused. How this type of stuff actually happens. Or because of the fact that someone has jealousy and envy within them. And didn't matter a tax bracket. It is more disgusting to see how people that's older than someone is being projected on with the evil eye. But you're supposed to be showing the community, the youth, better days ahead. But the devil's a lie. It's a train of thought for me. How this type of stuff actually happens. I thought we were supposed to respect our elders. How do we respect our elders if they don't respect us? We don't gotta be disrespectful to you. We still respect you when you disrespect us. We just don't hold conversations with you once you disrespect us. That does not mean we're nasty, we're disrespectful, we got malicious intentions towards you. No, but you continue to have a hate train towards somebody, sending somebody to evil lie. How this type of stuff actually happens. It does. You could have more longer hair than somebody. You could be bald-headed. You could barely have hair. It don't matter if you got long, short, or bald hair. Nowadays, it don't matter. A person will be jealous of you because you're able to conceive a child and they can't. And they will send you to evil eye to make sure that your pregnancy don't go successfully. Or they'll make sure they send you to evil lie that your household gets separated. And so because someone loves you and someone actually shows up for you, you and your household, they'll make sure at the end of the day, they would make sure that they would tear that down. And you was never doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing. It wasn't a script. It wasn't. How this type of stuff actually happens. How someone don't want you to take their spot, or someone don't want you to have this, or someone don't want you to have that, someone don't want you to have that, someone don't want you to outgrow a situation at the end of the day. So they send you to evil eye. And nowadays, it's not about someone's tax bracket, because someone can have more than you and feel at the end of the day that they got to be in competition with you. Someone can have multiple businesses, and because the way your mindset is and how God created you, they got to make sure they take you down so you won't elevate and prosper. When you were just in your own lane. It wasn't I outdo you better than you. No. You got your own flow. Stay in your lane. You got your own rhythm at the end of the day. If anything, I would expect at the end of the day, you would be giving somebody brownie points on how you became successful, how you became the entrepreneur, how you became the man and woman that you are. But you can't even do that documentary because at the end of the day, you a hater. Because you the background at the end of the day, hiding your hands behind spell work. You making sure that you shadow ban somebody. You making sure that you giving someone bad reviews. You making sure that you tear somebody down so bad that you gotta dig up their past to find out where they live at, what they got going on in their history, whatever the case may be, to blackmail them against them so certain folks will look at them in the light at the end of the day, not to pursue them. How this type of stuff actually happens. It does. A mother and father leaves a business to their child, and the last thing on their mind is for someone to do something like that at the end of the day. It's to send their baby to evil eye, or let alone send spell work towards their business for it to be a downfall. You know, my content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. Regardless if it's a man or a woman, I say this respectfully. Or regardless of what subject it is. Never allow someone to project fear in you when someone threatens your life that nobody's going to believe you. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. I say that respectfully. It's not. You know, shadow banding is real. But I'm not for everybody, just like you're not for everybody. I know how to respect my neighbor. Good day, bad day, misunderstanding day. And I know how to give respect when it's due. I know how to give flowers when it's due. I don't got malicious intentions. I'm not trying to outdo you. I don't want your position. I never wanted your position. God gave me my own lane. Just respect my neighbor. That's all God want me to do. Respect your neighbor. We ain't the same, because I ain't got hate in my vein. It was never competition. We try to antagonize me that day. You wanted me to shortchange myself when it comes to my creativity. Being authentic bothered your mental health. But I truly hope that you find peace within. And I say that respectfully. I truly hope that one day you truly heal. Because healing, trauma, and pain is not a race overnight process. And jealousy and envy is really real. And it's disgusting. It really is. My content is not for everyone. It's not. Always be yourself with no intentions. Peace and respect, self-respect, your neighbor, stop the violence. You may rather on them, yeah, like, gotta go on them, yeah, like. Always be yourself with no intentions. You know, regardless if you're an entrepreneur or not, or you're just an upcoming creator, or you're just an upcoming business owner, whatever the case may be, and you're promoting yourself on the internet, and they're in the background shadow banning you and threatening you behind the scenes, and they gang stalking you, I say this respectfully. Never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. You got a flow within you, being authentic, continue to move that motion at the end of the day. We all not the same. We ain't got hate in our vein. Now to put respect on my neighbor's name, regardless to their pain. Always be yourself and know what's intentions. I'm not your genuine respect. You know, when God sends the right people into your life, we don't pray the same. They fall from haters, regardless they came of poverty and pain. They was acting their body weight and their shoe size. They didn't have to tell lies when it comes to hold on 1 second, overcoming pain. They still being patient when it come to their storm. They didn't have to do you wrong. The energy is different. They was really cheering you on. They wasn't sending you the evil lie, let alone spell work. They didn't have to tell you a lie at the end of the day to blackmail you against you. The energy is different. If they truly not for you, they will walk away. It'd be the train of thought for me to put respect on your name. Always be yourself and always intentions. I'm not your genuine respect, and my content is not for everybody. I would never hurt myself good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. You know, when I walk outside, I say this respectfully. I would never hurt myself. So regardless of who's trying to plot against me or whoever's doing any negative energy in the background at the end of the day, I put everything in God's hands. That's all I'm going to say. Have a safe year, day, evening, week, weekend. You matter, you're worthy. I don't live in fear and I would never hurt myself. People pick and choose who could talk about God. People pick and choose who could talk about spirituality. People pick and choose who could talk about the devil, narcotics, violence, or whatever the case may be. You bring your child into this world for them to be their authentic self. You don't dumb them down from them chasing their dream. Either they're going to become a basketball player, a football player, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever the case may be. Nobody should ever have to send your baby the evil lie. And especially when your baby never had malicious intentions. When God didn't tell a lie, that God actually showed you a miracle. When God brought a gift in your life, you matter, you're worthy. Never give up on your baby, and I say that respectfully. And especially when you stand a woman and man that shows up for your child. Because not everybody's a parent, and I say that respectfully. And you didn't have to pretend. Always be yourself and no one's intentions, no matter how old your child is. You never walked away. Everybody's not the same. Always be yourself and no one's intentions, even when it comes to rainy days.
Peace and respect your neighbors, stop the lines. You many rather don't damn me a light. Gotta go on there, but never don't damn me a light.
Always be yourself and no one's intentions. When it comes to my creativity, I'll work alone. I get my creativity from my Heavenly Mother, my Heavenly Father, God, and I don't worship the devil good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself and no one's intentions. It's disgusting to see how folks try to humble you. All because you was wanting to choose you. And you never had to be something that truly wasn't. And that was authentic. That bothers them. So they in the background trying to do you wrong. Try to dim your light. But God wasn't showing you wrong when God revealed the devil on the enemy that day. Never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. It's going to bother certain folks' mental health. But giving up on yourself wasn't part of the plan. And I say that respectfully. I was far from pretending. Being my authentic self. I'm far from a copycat. You know, folks would be so inspired by you, but would never put respect on your name. They would try to humiliate you, embarrass you, project spell work, gang stalk you, hack your devices, and blackmail you against you. Even take notes. Watch you for years and months at a time. Try to be just like you at the end of the day, but it's only one you. When it comes to God's rhythm, how God allowed you to be. Hold on 1 second. That heart was real. When God was for keeping it real. When God didn't leave you aside another day. When it comes to your faith, you set on confidence. Never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. I'm nice on respect. When the right people are for you, they put respect on your name, good day, bad day, and misunderstanding day. I'm not your genuine love respect, and my content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself, but no one's intentions.
Peace and respect your neighbors, stop the lines. You many rather don't damn me a light. Gotta go on there, but never don't damn me a light.
Always be yourself. When it comes to my content, I work alone. And I always have since day one, regardless of what next door neighbor, any tax bracket is trying to blackmail me against me. I work alone. And it's not a crime to be authentic. God was never for sell likes and views of cloud chasing or fame. And I say that respectfully. Thank you for your time. Have a good day. August 20th, 2000.